It's time for Emerald to overcome her Saltburn. This modern Gothic family play from Farrell. The movie has a lot of intricate elements and I'm going to talk about that today. Discussing symbols, philosophies, and topics. According to my personal views from 3. This video is intended for viewers. Those who are already acquainted with the movie's narrative, as there will be several spoilers for the entire movie, and if you want to, please contribute your own thoughts here. Oliver Quick, adapting, arranging, and carrying out. Let's start with the most intricate part of the movie. Oliver Quick is a noteworthy figure in the movie where Oliver's style sense shifts in tandem with his persona. Oliver seems really nerdy at first, mirroring his hesitant, bashful moment that progressively expands into greater informal attire as soon as he becomes friends. He even makes a stop in Oxford with Felix, putting on his spectacles to look possibly further away and colder himself from the Michael with the spectacles. GY dresses when he travels to Saltburn. Clever casual to attempt to create an imprint, but don't go overboard, and then, when he feels completely at ease in Saltburn, his attire grows increasingly. Oliver is a captivating and imaginative person. Unquestionably a scumbag compared to his actions in the movie that demonstrate how low of a person he meets being emphasized many times as he starts to combine with Felix Michael's phone calls. He's a bootlicker, a word used to describe Oliver settling in and taking pleasure in. This also happens with his desires, dirt, to consume the menstrual slurp of Vina on the remaining polluted bathwater from Felix, and even gives sex to the actual filth of. Oliver lies on Felix's grave on the very bottom of the movie's frame. Oliver has a number of relatives, creatures, both real and imaginary, all of which enhance the way his composition is put together. First person in the bar when apparently avoiding purchasing additional beverages. Oliver is referred to as Hizit and a serpent. Snakes are frequently connected to dishonesty and distrust through the relationship to the Garden of Eden's serpent, and Oliver compares Saltburn to Eden. He is the serpent that resides within heaven, equipped with a toxin that spews forth, practically speaking, with the poisoning of Felix in the scenario involving menstruation. Oliver Vischa describes himself as a vampire. This is directly related to this scene since to drinking blood, but it's also thinking back on Oliver sipping the Cat 10 family dry growing more powerful with the he also ingests life. This is a typical feature. Believe vampires are primarily active at night, and most of the movie takes place at night. Scenes in which Oliver's true self appears outside Felix's window, standing, witnessing his first apparent sexual encounter. Ardent conversation with a university student. Luring Venetia when she watched Felix in the taking a bath, hitting the mirror, pursuing Felix's verbal combat in the maze. All of these with Venetia in the bathtub. The essence of Oliver lies in his moments. Like if the actual vampire monster roams freely in that Venus spa at night. She makes reference to Sir James's comparison Oliver to arachnid before she draws comparisons. He likened it to a moth in these Symbolism. Explanations are given in a straightforward and concise manner. Whirling spider connected to Oliver SP. His spiderwebs inside the Saltburn as the moth. Contrast is that he finds herself drawn to dazzling objects crashing into the window, wishing to enter and then withdrawing from his gaps in everything that are eroding the family from the inside out. In the end, Oliver, in my opinion, is a beast. In contrast to, but not specifically the little in the midst of the labyrinth. In this reveals a more aspect of the labyrinth itself. Hence this monument is a powerful young person with his appendages visible holding a slashed animal. This statue is located at the Saltburn Center. I think that the whole arrangement is related to Oliver's real nature and his scheme, such as the Oliver, a miner, is strong and makes use of key characteristics in the movie when strutting about for Venetia Felix. Even the nudeness of Farley the miner beneath the waist reflects the last scene in the movie in which Oliver circles the house. And yes, in terms of size, there's the miner's horns are comparable to reflected by Oliver's antlers, which what he dons on his birthday. Moreover, I think that the miner grasping the animal represents the family is similar to making a sacrifice. Family members serving as sacrifices for Oliver. In addition to their being ripped apart, half of it is indicative of the violent Oliver makes a split in Saltburn. Moreover, Felix's immediate death. This monument serves as a reminder that Felix was central to Oliver's schemes and the plans were intricate and complicated. Similar to that allegory spider web, Duncan twisted like the maze itself. Oliver's butler informs him that several individuals who are lost in Saltburn align with several meanings that people genuinely forget their life there, becoming disoriented in the Oliver and Myers become lost in the all of its grandeur, longing to embrace it. Having said that, it appears as though Oliver, the young person at the heart of the labyrinth, represents him being at the heart of the complexity of Saltburn and the maze-like puzzles he designs for the family, who get help from a scaled-down version of the maze that has 4 balls, I believe, symbolized the family and the 4 cats members as he removes them when they arrive at. Towards the conclusion of the movie, he has 4 deaths stones above the player's cat 10. Vina Felix and S. James were in the box Elith, always included in Oliver's maze, and in the player's box, there are 4 characters. Were they always twirling like jesters? Like puppets that he commands merely have to press the appropriate button in this. Shakespeare and Evelyn Waugh are 2 literary references. Leads me to talk about the cat 10. Felix claims that the family itself, relatives provided some of Evelyn Waugh's novels. Among the most well-known pieces by Waugh is Anything That Declines and Falls. Eventually takes place with the family. Theirs includes a little amount of dust, which is basically is what every individual in the Cat 10 family. Plus in the book, Brenda has an clear dislike of ugly things related to here, at their ancestral home, and elf ugliness as well, but maybe the most among Waugh's well-known books is Bride's Head, reviewing the location of an Oxford-inspired Charles, a college student, is ally with Lord Sebastian and presented to Sebastian's bazaar. Relatives and guests visiting their estate just as in Felix making Oliver his friend and extending an invitation to him to Saltburn. Another literary allusion in the movie. Oliver's theme for the celebration is A Midsummer Night's Dream by Shakespeare. A conflict is a major element in that drama. Between four loves and a lot of stuff here. Of strife for Oliver to turn into either emotionally or physically intertwined with Felix Farley Aleth and Venetia the quartet. Oliver's lovers, as it were, in a way. In some way, I think that some of the characters also transition into Saltburn. Oliver is dressed in a jacket with a green design on it that is similar to the leaves. Crucially, being transparent. Obstacles separating characters and often absolute freedom. Oliver first observes Felix as he observes from a window. Felix using a window to have sex. Notices the Venetia outside his window, who results in their initial appropriate communication. Then a second window view results in an image of menstruation, and another window scenario appears following Venetia's rejection. And after that, she slumps under his window. With Felix's passing, the curtains close across the windows to obstruct the view of the bombardment of the dining hall by corners. The red light, hence there were some genuinely intriguing window-using techniques in the movie. And lastly, I believe, the water theme. It's critical that the entire family people toss stones into water bodies following death, with the immersion being similar to someone stepping over a barrier. But when Oliver discards his father's stone lands on land, not in water, and later, we find out that his father is still living. The stone didn't sink, which I believe was a deft prediction of the demise. Denying it after Oliver consumes Venetia, he dips halfway into the ocean, the blood near his semi-open mouth reflected in Venus passing as she lies partially submerged in her bath. Blood following her demise. Oliver even utilizes water to remove any traces of Felix's demise through its placement in the soundtrack. Symbolism in music. Pond is a major contributing element to Saltburn. Collection of songs from the movie's soundtrack, with several tunes deftly connecting to happenings in the first movie. The movie's tracks have the cheeky girl's Christmas with one of the song's major words, everyone come. The bike is the very next scene together. Felix and Oliver's moment, which is the actual start of Oliver's scheme in gesture for everyone to begin arriving collectively in the moment where Oliver appropriately begins to shift into the music that plays his confidence act. It's time to act like MGMT. Oliver's turn to play the part of someone else in order to benefit from in a karaoke scenario, the two songs that are played are FL Writers LW about how LW Oliver goes and Pet Shop Boys rents it as well. It more clearly alludes to both Oliver and Farley leading fulfilling lives. At Oliver's celebration, the family paid for it. Mason's song Perfect Sita is played. Princess Superstar against Push It, Watch Me are the lyrics here. Work It, Oliver, I'm worth it, pushes the. He makes his way in and out of the family. Them, and ultimately, he feels that he is worth the time and effort to see my work. Oliver repeats this statement when speaking to Elizabeth is on life support, although she is not. He is more skilled at work than we are. View a detailed strategy for his incorporating the movie's last song. Is Sophia's murder on the dance floor? Baxter, referring to Oliver's deadly character, the home is now his dance floor, and he's in a symbolic burnt down the home by removing the family is being mirrored in the burning as well. The Saltburn mentions a few other theories. Random details to complete the movie. The family see 2 films at the extremely awful mansion, and the ring may be connected to Oliver's actual reasons, and the ring may be having to do with that time. Farley's signet ring was with Oliver, but Samara is also in the ring, capable of scaling a glass screen wall dividing her from the real world, comparable to how Windows is used in. There's also this undefined moment, Saltburn, where I'm not sure if it's deliberate or not, but when the family talked about Percy, Shell's twin brother, a man with the window is passed by black hair at precisely time it stated that someone passed the Shelley's window. Might this be a double of Felix or Oliver? And addressing the initial shot at last of the movie, Oliver's cigarette is seen. There are several symbols on it, including a Star Sport is the bike helmet used by Oliver. Venetia sports branded pants with stars on them. When she initially encounters Oliver, we've also Oliver is located on a moon underneath the moon, and Venetia exchange words first. A hand is reaching out from a crown, maybe with an arrow through the hand. Similar to Cupid arrow, the harm inflicted by love in the movie, all the way to Oliver's hand reaching out to Saltburn. And furthermore, not only does the crown relate to the kings explored throughout the movie, but Oliver's conclusion, eventually emerging as a kind of monarch, and the antlers may also be his CR in certain. Moreover, it's a cigarette case. It suggests that Oliver will blow Elizabeth's face covered in cigarette smoke, where I think life support could be suggested that she became sick because of him. Finale. By smoking, so that's where we are now. Oliver, in the end, we succeeded, my dear. Examination of Saltburn enclosed in a box similar to the Academy component of the movie. Ratio. Thank you for watching. Please enjoy the video if you found this useful. A thorough analysis of the movie and your ideas down below, and while you're there, kindly verify the horror exchange connections for more content from Release the. I'm Connor. Gosh, thanks for observing.